This is Hannah Yee with Big County Prep's BCP 360, sitting here with former Armwood quarterback Josh Grady. So you've committed to Vanderbilt. What made you choose Vanderbilt?
Overall, I think that just the academic side of it, for most kids going to a college, trying to choose a college, they just look at the 4 to 5 year span. But for me, my parents always taught me just always keep your future in mind. I think me picking Vanderbilt was more of a 40 to 50 year span. And I just think the benefits from when I graduate would be huge.
So now, what role did your mom and dad have in your choice?
I mean, it was huge. Probably about 2 days before, on July 31st, I wanted to go to Iowa State. But then when I told them that, they was like, there's no way. Because pretty much they were just saying they wanted me to look at the school as if I wasn't playing football. And if I wasn't playing football, there was no way I'm wanting to live out in Iowa in the cornfield. So that wasn't happening. So, I mean, they just pretty much, they guided me along the whole way. They never made my decision for me, but they always made sure that the only thing that my dad told me, he said, whatever decision I make, then make it the best one for me. But also he said he wouldn't let me make a wrong decision. So I definitely took that, and then that propelled me to pick Vanderbilt.
How did your coaches play a role throughout everything?
Most definitely my offensive coordinator, Coach Evan. I used to talk to him probably once a day about the whole college situation. He just told me, pick the one school that's right for me, not for my parents, not for my coaches, or anything like that. But he just told me whatever school I feel comfortable with is the school that I need to go to, and then I definitely think that helped me. And Coach Cal, he pretty much just always gave me the optimistic view of everything. He just told me anytime you can go to college for free, then your parents have raised you well. So I mean, those two aspects definitely helped.
Now, okay, so you're saying July 31st you knew you weren't going to go to Iowa State after talking to your parents. So did you know back then that you were going to go to Vanderbilt?
I didn't know I was going to Vanderbilt till the night before signing day. That night, actually during the day, I went to talk to my barber. It was the first time I had talked to someone like outside of the whole football aspect besides my parents. And then pretty much he just told me if I wanted to go to USF, then I'll be fine. If I wanted to go anywhere else, it would be fine, Vanderbilt. But he just told me that I need to make sure that I'm looking towards the future as if I'm not playing football. If I wasn't playing football, Nashville is a great city to live in. If I wasn't playing football, Vanderbilt's a great school to go to. So then I think just from what he told me might have been one of the final things for me in choosing my school.
Okay, so USF was one of your final choices, and you've got a former coach that is working with USF, Coach Blackwell, who, you know, taught you a lot. So what made you not choose USF though?
Actually, after talking to him, one thing he always told me was, I've been playing quarterback my whole life, so there's no reason now not to play quarterback. USF wanted me to play defense, and so after talking to him, even though he was with USF, I knew that he always wanted the best for me. So having him tell me, Josh, you need to focus on playing quarterback and stuff like that, then I knew that I could definitely count on him for that. Actually, one thing with USF that I think helped me not go there was Coach Holtz had told me, you need to draw, he told me pretty much, he said you need to draw a circle as big enough so that your school will be within that circle that has everything you need. And then he told me that if I draw a circle 15 miles away from my house at USF, if I can't get everything I want into a college, then I need to draw my circle a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger until I find that school. And then when I drew my circle around USF, it just didn't have everything that I wanted. And then fortunately, Vanderbilt, I mean, it's only about an hour and a half flight, so it's that the location part really isn't that big a deal to me.
Okay, so I mean, even though they're coaches at USF, they kind of helped you, help point you in the right direction.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so let's talk about your senior season at Armwood. How would you describe it?
Well, I mean, it was incredible. I mean, although we did lose our state title game, I mean, it was by far the best season we've ever had. I think we had like 2 kids run us for over 1,000 yards. Saw 2 sophomores, Alvin Bailey and Ronnie Thomas, turn into superstars. I mean, just the whole experience, having Kyle Wilcox come over from Wharton, playing with him for 1 year, I mean, that was probably one of the greatest experiences of my life. I mean, just having Coach Evan, my OC, Coach Cal, everything, it was a great experience.
So now, you didn't spend your whole high school career at Armwood. So what was the difference from when you were over at Freedom to when you were over at Armwood?
The one thing that I'd have to say, at least to me, the biggest difference was at Armwood, you definitely have to prove yourself. I mean, at Freedom, you probably have a handful of guys that work hard, have great talent and everything like that. but for the most part, everyone's just friends, and then if you're on the team, then you're part of the team. But at Armwood, I just think when I had to come over there, even though like I was a big name type of guy, when I came over, I definitely had to prove myself. It was the first time I was ever had a situation like that where a lot of the guys didn't know me. I had to work my way in and everything like that, and I definitely think that really propelled me to always to strive to be better. But just the overall football aspect, I just think the organization that Coach Cal has for the football team is incredible. I mean, every day he stays at the school till like 8 o'clock washing our dirty laundry. So, I mean, just the dedication that he has, that just falls through to the coaches and falls through down to the players. I just think the work ethic is incredible.
So who is your biggest rival this year?
Biggest rival this year we had, I definitely have to say, was Plant. That was a great game that we, of course, we won. But definitely, at least of the games that we played, that was definitely our biggest rival.
So now, I know you aren't going to be there next year, but with the new districts coming into play, who do you think Armwood's biggest rival is going to be next year?
Honestly, I don't see Armwood being rivaled by anybody. Armwood's going to run through Plant. They're going to run through the J boys at Jefferson and anybody else that's on the schedule. On the team that they play out in Vegas, I like Matt Jones probably going to run for 300 yards against that team. I don't see any defense stopping our offense. I don't see any offense scoring our defense. So any team is not really a competition.
So you were a big part of the offense that led, the team to state. I mean, it was a team effort, but you and Kyle were two of the biggest parts of the offense. So who's going to step up when you guys leave, besides Matt Jones?
Of anybody, a name that really hasn't been thrown out there is kid Wade Edwards. He's number 20, is kind of Matt's backup. This year, he'll definitely play a key role. I mean, last year he had, I think, 80 yards in the state title game. He's definitely one of the key players that will be a part of the Armwood offense this year.
Okay, what about your defense? I know some of the guys are graduating, but is there a core part that's still going to be there?
Oh, definitely. Probably our defensive backs. We have Leon McQuaid coming back, Jarvis McCall, and Shannon Smith. So we have two corners and a safety coming back.
And Leon McQuaid, from what I know, is going to be a rising sophomore?
A junior. He'll be a junior this year. Actually, right as we talk, he's at Vanderbilt right now visiting.
Yeah.
But,
I spoke to his dad about that.
He's probably the most gifted athlete that I've ever been around. I mean, he's a track superstar. He's just, overall, he's probably one of the most gifted players that I've ever been associated with, and he's got a good head on his shoulders. I know with him leading the defense, I don't see really any team scoring many points on him this year.
Okay, so now what's one thing you would have to say if you were to talk to, high school athletes that are following behind you? What's one piece of advice you would give to them?
One thing I would say that actually I learned from Chickalo, Anthony Chickalo, he told me his dad told him that this is probably one of the few times in your life where anybody will kiss your butt to have you come to their school. They'll do anything for you. And so you really need to make sure that you enjoy this time. For me, I mean, I stretched the process out for the longest time. With these kids that's come in early, I mean, even Matt, I tell him, you might want to open up your recruiting process because it's one of the most greatest times that you ever have. You get to go take 5 vacations for free. Each official visit they pay for.
So you would suggest them to take every visit possible?
Definitely. I mean, I took 5. I took all 5 of mine, and every trip was great. I mean, they pay for you, so I mean, why not go? It's a free paid vacation. I mean, one thing I'll tell any highly recruited kid: try to make sure that you get an offer from Hawaii, so then you can take an official visit out there, and they'll pay for it.
Did you go out there?
Unfortunately, I couldn't. They just got a new coach. And then me and him talked and everything, but I wasn't able to get the whole transportation thing situated. But anybody out there that's a junior, try to get out an offer out there.
You'll chaperone, right?
Definitely, I'll be there for free right now.
All right, well, it was nice having you.
Thank you,
We'll
appreciate
talk
it.
to you later,
All right, appreciate it, thank you.